Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I thought this was my day for the CB today, and then wouldn't you know it, Gary messaged me and said that he has clutch plates for his bike, and then Rabjab messaged and said he's got a fuel module for his bike. They both want to come down and make sure they get their stuff done. Not the end of the world at all, absolutely fine. I'll find more time for this. I'm going to try and at least get the rings on and maybe seat the barrels. Again, I'm not naive enough to think that these barrels are just automatically okay. They may not be. They may be misshaped. They may have ovaled a bit. And I know I can do all tests with the measuring things and stuff. But I'm just at that stage, and I'm just that kind of person where I'm going to put new rings in, and I'm going to put the engine back together and check the dry compression test, and anything kind of 130ish or over I'm fine with. 120 is kind of the lowest when you'd probably look at rebuilding. 150, 160, 170 is top end. 120, I believe the manual says 120 is when you're looking at a top end rebuild. And someone said to me, get a manual. I've got a manual in here, but I don't overly need it. I know I've done it before, and also I learned from doing so. When I took this apart, I learned a lot from doing that. So I have got a manual anyway, just in case, just so people know. But I do rarely open the manual and look into it, if I'm being honest. On any bike, I kind of just do it, practice and learn. The truth is, once you've done an engine or two, it all becomes very familiar. Actually, it all becomes quite normal. So I am going to try and put at least the rings on, clean up the base and the cylinders here, put the new gasket on, and maybe get that seated. And then my aim is that I'm going to need the chain to be somewhere up here, as in the connection part, this part, somewhere up around here. In fact, almost exactly like that, because I need to get the top dead center and then put the new link in. So actually somehow I've got the chain in the spot I kind of need it, but that will only make sense if I'm still at top dead center, so I'll need to check that after. But this could work. It's in the kind of right vicinity there. Cool. So let me get the rings on. The reason I left the old rings in last time is because they have an orientation up or down, or at least some do. So oh no, I can hear Abjab. At least some do. So I wanted to take them off, just check for markings. I know I took the top one off last time. That's why I've left this full set here, because sometimes it has a marking and the marking will point up, for example. So yeah, that's the plan. When you see me do this with a ring, that is not normal. It's not good practice. I'm likely to bend it out of shape. But this is the old ring, so I'm just kind of messing with it, really, because I do want to see if it has any indication of whether it should go up or down. I do wonder with these older bikes, if they had that, it may not have. Let me pop that off and see if it has any markings at all.
Those.
Yeah. It's a fuel pack, or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, this is correct.
Yeah.
As long as it fits all your connectors, but I feel like it will. So turn off the engine, locate and disconnect the green 4-pin connector. That's very easy. Connect the Rapid Bike connectors in line of the stock ones. Yep. Connect the 6-pin connector and the 2-pin connector. It's easy but Rapid. Okay. Let me see the connectors.
Yeah.
Quite vague instructions, really. Let's have a look. So this is the easy bike. So you've got the tunable one, which is good, because there's also a light one that tunes for you. But this is good. I don't know if this does any self-tuning, but it won't matter.
So here which tuning you want to.
Oh yes. So if you've got so it will say something like if you've got an air filter. So KTM 2020 model onwards.
Yeah, 2020.
So 6.2, but I think that will be in stock setting. It tells you online. I saw it already. what to set it to for your air filter and exhaust. So guys, just so everyone's clear, it's been hard to find these up until now.
About 5 weeks.
No, but before then we looked last year and they weren't really available for your make or model. Now the problem is, in fact, look, perfect. They're both there. Let me tell you what the issue is with the newer KTMs. Not an insult. It's just how it is. Right. Bikes, fuel injected bikes from 2007 up to around 2018 had ECUs that would adapt their air and fuel mixture regularly. It was just constant, up and down, depending on, you know, your elevation, your country, and so on. It adapted itself. From roughly 2018 onwards, they stopped doing it. ECUs stopped adapting themselves, and that's purely because of emission stuff.
Like my old Honda CBR, that was tuned up. That had the air filter.
Yeah, with no fuel pack. Yeah, exactly. I'm calling it a fuel pack, but fuel pack's a company, so apologies. But it's a fuel module, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, so on my bike currently, I can do the exhaust. I can even put in a high flow filter. It will adapt just enough to manage that. I wouldn't do any more than that. I'd have to change the fueling if I did any more than that. A filter and a pipe, and I'm not even doing a filter. I'm sticking with stock, but I am going to put a pipe on at some point. But Rabjab's is currently very, very lean, and if I can get to his spark plug, we'll pop it out later. Just have a look. My guess is it's fairly light brown or white. Now, what the module does is it adapts for that. It actually tells the ECU to offer more fuel, which is what's needed. You actually set this to override the ECU. So that's exactly what's needed. It's absolutely spot on. I think we'll need to set this in the rear, Rabjab, so that it is accessible, because you might need to come in and out of here. Baseline setting for your bike was 6 and +2, so 6 and +2. But I am going to look at online, because I checked already and they gave me a really, a specific tuning. Although I have a feeling it was 5 or 6 +2. The fuel ratio +2 is more fuel, you see. So that is no, you want it rich. You want, not stupidly rich, but for your piston to survive. Yeah, exactly. So that's the baseline setting, and then I'm going to get online and just check and see if they suggest a better setting. But for now, let's put this on. I mean, it really does look straightforward. We're looking for the 2 green connectors. This will go in the back. We'll use some cable ties to secure it. You've got the lid, yeah. I mean, it's a sealed unit, but the lid will help. I'd put the lid on. Now, I've ridden your bike. I will feel the difference in this. I could feel it running very lean before.
Video of it.
But I don't know how much. I wish we could get to a dyno. I don't know any. Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone who dynos bikes?
£300-400.
Yeah, but no. You get someone to do it for 100. You only want to do 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, or 1 run.
But just testing different settings. Yeah. But your current brake horsepower, 14.6?
Yeah, 40.6.
Roughly. Yeah. Now, I think the airbox and the exhaust mod has lowered it. I've always said that to you. I think it's lowered it because it's running so lean. So I think you'll see 14.8 or 15 brake horsepower, and it will feel more pokey because it will have more fuel. So I think you will feel the difference, which is really good. All right, let's get going. All I'm going to do is find these blocks. I think I've seen them before. I think they're on the left of the bike. Down here where Rabjab is right now, actually. I think they're just kind of there. And then when you just want to run the wires up behind the rear seats, and we want to put this in the back in case we need to adjust it at any point. Let's do it.
Other YouTubers don't show it properly. So
all you're doing is disconnecting the original connector, the one green connector. I was looking for 2, but that was silly. You're disconnecting the green connector, and then you're connecting this into both of them. So one's going from the exhaust, from the exhaust sensor, and one's coming from the ECU. I've just connected it loose here to show you, but I'm going to tuck it in behind there afterwards. So yeah, so disconnect the green connector on the bike and connect this to both sides, one on the left, one on the right. tuck it in, run the wire up the back. Now running the wire is a bit awkward because you don't really have a route for it. I think it's best, let's see if we can get it as tight as possible though, through here, like up through there, and then where did we go? Up here, and then we'll run along here. The seat covered it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll go into there, and so we're going to run around the seat, something like that, and then the fuel thing will be back there anyway. So that works. We'll use some cable ties to keep these down like this, and you won't see it. You might just see it if you really look hard, but you shouldn't do. So let me get this tucked in, and I think we should probably start it, because if it has a learning program, it might be a bit awkward to start at first, and then we'll get online and I'll look at what setting they really think is appropriate.
The other one, you buy the 300-400 pound one, you need the laptop to basically...
But they also have a self-learning feature. They're always adjusting for you. I don't know if this one does. So once you're connected up, you might find that your bike cranks over and over and over and it doesn't start too quickly or easily. You may find that that's because the ECU is taking over and it's trying to work things out, okay? That as in the module is taking over the ECU. Crank it and crank it and crank it. Do get it started. If you have to get jump leads, get it started. Once it's started, it will adapt and adjust, and then your bike will be running properly. So yeah, let's fire it up, Roger. This, do you need your side stand up? No? No? Give it a minute. Give it a minute. I feel like it kind of sounds better. No, leave it, because it's adapting. Yeah. But it may have a learning module in there as well. So give it a minute. Annoyingly, I think it sounds louder. Wow, it does seem to have more poke.